And we're going to get you up to speed here on this storm system, which is approaching as well. It's a major storm system which could produce inches of rain actually across much of the central and south coast. And some of that rain could be heavy at times. Now, you may have noted today that we saw a little break in the clouds. We started with some clouds this morning and kind of broke up this afternoon into the evening hours. We saw some pretty blue skies and some comfortable temperatures out there. That does not mean the storm isn't approaching. It is the cloud cover we saw this morning, just some preliminary clouds ahead of the main storm system itself, which is working its way into our area, probably the leading edge around midnight tonight. The heaviest rain, though, will be in the latter part of the day, second half of the day tomorrow into Friday morning. Highs today, 60s and 70s. Sunny Nest topped out at 73, so nice, comfortable, almost Chamber of Commerce day for some areas. 70 in Paso Robles and 72 in San Luis Obispo. But that does not foretell what's ahead as we head into the next couple of days. We are looking at 60s for current temperatures across the entire area. Cuyama 69. 68 in San Ynez. The rest of the area, though, dropping into the mid-60s, some 50s coast side. We also, as of at this point, have a wind advisory in effect. That expires tomorrow at 6 p.m., which is when the tail end of that storm should be moving through our area. We will continue to keep a watch on any other watches and warnings which are issued throughout this evening and into tomorrow. Wind conditions so far not too bad, up to the teens, 15 miles per hour in Cuyama, 12 in California Valley, 13 in Cambria. Remember, the storm is approaching from the north, so we'll see the winds kind of picking up as we look toward the north. Now, these are the clouds that moved through throughout the day today, kind of through our area and gave us the off and on cloud cover. But you can see we are in the midst of a little break in the action here. Behind it, though, we have the actual storm system, the trough of lower pressure itself, and you can see where that green turns into yellow. That is the storm intensifying over the past couple of hours. To make things even more complicated, this low pressure area at the top of the trough will cut off likely from the rest of the weather pattern. And depending on where it kind of sets up shop here is going to determine who gets the vast majority of rain. Right now, the most likely scenario is kind of north of Santa Barbara into our area. So that's why we're keeping such a watchful eye. So again, the new clouds moving in with a little bit of the rain for midnight tonight into tomorrow morning, but just a trace by the time we get into the midnight hours. As we get into tomorrow afternoon, though, and evening, that's when the vast majority of the rain is kind of pushing through the central and south coast, Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo counties. And by the time we get into, say, midnight tonight, or really even 24 hours from now, we're going to see up to maybe 2 inches of rain, depending on where you are. So San Luis Obispo 1 to 2 inches of rain, 1 to 2 in Cambria, up to 1 inch of rain. And of course, the lower totals for the south coast, as the storm will take a bit longer to get there. But by the time we get through Friday evening, then all areas at the 2 inch mark, maybe even some areas with more rain, depending again on where that trough of lower pressure cuts off. And we're going to have probably a better idea maybe tomorrow morning as we get the newer maps in, the newer forecast models in. So 60s for highs tomorrow. We're looking at 68 in Paso Robles, 67 in San Luis Obispo, 66 in Santa Barbara. As we work our way around the central and south coast, most areas are topping out into the mid upper 60s with some 50s and lower 60s, of course, at the beaches. We're looking at a high of maybe 71 California Valley, 66 in Arroyo Grande, but 64 in Pismo Beach and Los Osos. And then for the south coast, we're also going to see some highs in the 60s. Let's take a quick look for you at your extended forecast. We do have the heavier rain tomorrow. Rain continues, though, off and on, perhaps all the way through Sunday morning, and most areas will be topping out into the mid 60s.